J More, the very best reviews. Tell them none can contest, we gon'
What's good, everybody? Welcome to the show. This thing ain't working for some reason. There we go. What's good, everybody? We here to break down Godfather of Harlem, the latest episode for seasons 4. What was it, episode 6? In my opinion, another good episode for the show. And this episode, I really enjoyed, and it wasn't a real gangster episode because the way this episode kicked off is that we saw the previous episode that Frank Lucas got the drop on Chance, and they had Chance kidnapped. And Columbo, they're going to try to work Chance for info. So we see when they kick off, they beating the hell out of Chance. They about to kill Chance. And he tell them, hey, you may not want to do that. He talking to save his ass. He said, Joe Colombo says to Frank Lucas, hey, I want you to go talk to Bumpy Johnson. Tell him we got his boy. If he want to see him alive again, he need to make a deal. So we see Frank Lucas. Man, boy, I swear, I was wondering how they gonna make this work. But anyway, because the Frank Lucas that we've seen in Godfather Harlem so far ain't been worth spit. And I was wondering how they gonna make it that he's Bumpy's right-hand man eventually. I see this episode is how they trying to work it back around. Because Frank Lucas goes on behalf of Columbo and tries to tell Bumpy, we got your boy. If you don't cut him in on the action, your boy is as good as gone. Frank, I don't know what the hell he was thinking, but Bumpy, of course, ain't trying to have it. He's sick of Frank doing what he been doing, not listening, playing with the Italians, and he tells his boy to drop him. Drop him. Don't make me do it myself. Take him out. And he's saying, hey, man, what about Chance, though? And while he over here saying this and that, Bumpy had a croaker. He had a heart attack. He having a heart attack over Chance. And you know what I see in this episode? If I would describe it in one word, this episode was love, man. Love. I saw Bumpy had love for his boys, Chance. And what's this partner name? Nat. Chance and Nat. They've been ride or die. We always see in these shows the boss always got some ride or die people, but the boss never valued them until it was too late. We don't see that here. We see Bump been valued. He had a heart attack over Chance. You know, the stress and everything. Like, he valued his boy. He ain't let him get killed and then be like, I should have did this. I should have did that. He was stressing the whole time. That was his ride or die. Nat, that's his ride or die. Them his partners. He ain't just the boss. They all got love for one another. You know, Bumpy gave up the points. That's something a gangster in the show today that would be a current show, they would never do. They would let they workers or people get whacked before they give in to another boss. But Bumpy gave in out of love for his boy. I also saw Bumpy's woman loved him because when he woke up in the hospital, Chance, he screaming for Chance. That's first thing on his mind. And she there by his side, trying to calm him down, hope everything is all right. And she was really there by his side. And he wasn't, again, like in modern shows, they always have some gangster or whatever, and they may have a woman that love them, but they didn't love that woman or didn't value that woman until it's too late or whatever the case. Whereas he valued, they all are present. I look at it as they are all present in the moment, understand each other as far as who they are, what they about. They all got love for one another. I saw that Bump really had love for Malcolm because they did have it, whereas we then saw after they ended up putting Bumpy back to sleep because he was stressing trying to get out, going to see Chance. They had to go ahead and put him back under. And then he began to see Malcolm and talk and reflect on things with Malcolm. And he really had love for Malcolm as a friend, as a real friend, love, respect, appreciation. And it seemed that Malcolm had that as well for Bumpy. And even though they were both two different kind of people, they both had a similar heart in the sense of what they wanted to do for their people and oppression that they faced. And another thing I think about when I watch this type of stuff is I'm starting to believe more and more about that maybe the Matrix type thing was real, in the sense that maybe we got, I'm not saying the Matrix is real in the sense that we all in machines or this or that, but just I would say the commercialization of everything in a way. It's no more real culture almost. It's no more real fighters or people with real purpose. It seem like all that really did die in like 99. I mean, a lot of people still wear the same clothes, style, everything, the way people talk. I mean, it's not really evolving. Remember when Back to the Future Part 2 came out, how people thought the future would be on the next level? We're still in the same way culturally since 1999. Anyway, I get sidetracked. Back to this though, you could tell the culture was strong. Black culture and unity was strong. They had the Black Panthers. I don't agree with everything they were trying to do, but at the time period they were trying to do things, it might have been the last time period to try to possibly stand up and fight the power, literally, because once the surveillance state and the welfare state and all these other things came into being, it's been nearly impossible. Nevertheless, we see Tupac Mama ain't that revolutionary because they trying to put together plans to fight the pigs, and they want to put a car bomb and blow this up and blow that up, and it seems she be the main one against all of that, which actually was good because this bomb program and things they was talking about, it probably wasn't going to be working and it wasn't worth a damn. And so it's good that they did back out. Unfortunately, the reason they had to back out is because they had a snitch rocking with them. And you know snitches get stitches. Let me get to some of these comments. What's good, mama? How you doing, Rashonda? First in the building. I appreciate you. For sure. Damian Kenny, what's good? Dame Dollar. Appreciate you, fam. Brandon Tony. You say Ghost also had his ride or die people just like Bumpy. Who? Tommy? Who was Ghost ride or die people? Tommy? That's it. And we know they had a tumultuous relationship, to say the least, Ghost and Tommy, but they did always unite for one another. But Ghost ain't have nobody ride or die. He could have possibly had Tasha, but once he started cheating on her with Angie, Tasha was, boy, I don't know what's up with that one. Angie was his ride or die till she found out he was in the drug game. Then she was like trying to lock him up. I mean, who, Dre? I don't know. Brandon Tony, you say, I'm happy nothing happened to Chance. I'm happy nothing happened to Chance, too. Chance was probably one of my favorite characters on the show. And I like how he schooled Frank Lucas when he was saying, hey, look, man, you a fool. Bumpy gave you a chance. You blew it. You blew it. Bumpy gave you a chance. You blew it. I was fresh out of the war, out the army from Korea. Bumpy gave me a job, something small at first, eventually gave me a big job. It said Bumpy gave me a big job right away. Maybe he saw something in you. But you blew it. He said, man, you really thought I was going to steal all that and not take a little piece for myself? Brandon, you say, yeah, Tommy, Julio, Tasha. Okay, Julio could have been his ride or die, but he turned Julio away in the office when Julio came to him for help. Said, you working with Tommy now, I'm out of it. He turned his back on him. Bump wouldn't have did that. Bump wouldn't have turned his back on Nat or Chance if they'd have came, even though Bump out of that business. And they say, hey, Bump, Columbo, he doing this or that, man. You say a word for him for me? He'd be like, you know, I'm not in the doogie business. I'm not in the doogie. I'm out of that. I know, man. I ain't trying to ask you to get back in the business, Bump. But just say a word or two. Okay, I'll talk to him. That's what Bump would have said. I'll talk to him. I'll see what I could do. But remember, I'm out. I'm out. But yeah, you say Damian Kenny Roller was Ghost ride or die until Kanan tricked Ghost. Damian Kenny coming digging up some old dirt. Roller. I had to think, who the hell you talking about? Roller. Oh man. I forgot all about him, man. He was Ghost ride or die until Kanan tricked Ghost. Yeah, that's true. Damn, man, Roller. I forgot all about that, man. That was, boy. That's one of the things. My bad. I rubbed this damn mouse. But that's one of the things Power has done is get rid of the bad guys too soon, in my opinion. But you would have thought after they got rid of Roller or a couple people, they might have kept them around, but they continued to whack them off and not the way they liked. Anyway, we see Bump had a couple of out of body experiences while in the hospital, talking with Malcolm. He even touched him. You real? You here? And it seemed that Malcolm, Bump was saying, I stopped selling the dope. And he said, what, you did it for me? And he said, nah, I ain't want to poison the hood no more and different things. So it was good to see Bump talking with Malcolm, see a little bit of why Bump did what he did. Malcolm made a big difference in his life as well as Bump's daughter life, because we see Elise, she's been influenced heavily by Malcolm and by Bump, because she was saying, because they were at first, when they was putting together a bomb, they were talking about blowing up a police station. And then she the one that came about with the cruiser and strike fear in their heart. And she was like, Malcolm taught me to stand up for my people and myself. And because she went and found out that those cops went to the same diner, which I'm glad they didn't blow that car up in front of that diner, because that would literally blow up, ruin the spot of that diner. They would put them out of business. It already starting to look in disrepair. Remember in season 1, it was looking real nice and new. It's starting to look a little hoodish now. Anyway, we see Stella. Stella, I don't understand this character at all. Why would she want to be the queen pin? But she get an unexpected visit from Mommy Dearest, her stepmother, and she ended up getting the strap when she went to the door. I'm thinking she might as well get her some type of guards or something, because it ain't much she about to be able to do. And then when she looked through that peephole, I just knew she was about to get bloop. But nevertheless, it's her stepmama talking about, I come to take everything back that you took from me. basically threatening her and telling her to get out of town. So Stella then had to put the word in, and Bo Deedle, who was playing the mob boss she was talking to, he's a famous businessman in New York, security consultant who now got into acting. Anyway, she trying to get him to whack Stella. And of course, Stella went and did a little back move, and he told her. And so then they put out the little smooth move of catching her while she riding in the car, hit the car. They whacked the driver. Cause Stella said that she didn't want to kill her, which they were like, hey, if it was a guy, she'd already be gone for all these problems she trying to start. But Stella said, I just want to scare the shit out of her. Which, why are you trying to scare and play them games? What if she ain't that scared as you thought? Anyway, they hit her car, take out her driver, and then he hit her legs with a tire iron. Damn. Ah, my legs, my legs. Boy, the mob boys don't play. Put her in the hospital. As Bumpy was leaving, she was coming in. This episode actually was really short. It really didn't have a lot as far as a lot of different scenes. I pretty much summed it up already. We did see the return of Big Dick Buster, though. You know what I'm saying? Big Dick Buster. Yeah, that's right. She said, so we did see that the cops had a snitch in the midst with the Panthers. It was the main one talking about blowing up a police station. He a snitch. And that's one of the things I hate the most about that type of stuff is that when they always, I won't say always because I don't know, but I will say, and damn near the majority of reports that have come out from that time period and since then, a lot of the snitches be the ones instigating this stuff. They'll be thinking of something small. The snitches will get in and try to escalate it to bigger charges, bigger crimes, pretty much, and then get everybody locked up for something they wasn't originally trying to do. Anyway, this snitch trying to get them to do all of this, then he informing on the cops, and how did he get banked for it? He gets punched in the face to play it off, to look like they gave him a hard time. Now, I will say that some people have been manipulated into snitching, especially back then when they could railroad you with all kind of things and it was hard. But dude is worse than dirt trying to instigate and get all this stuff going with them. And so what had happened is that Big Dick Buster, she said, because they had raided the Black Panthers place shortly after the snitch talked. But they had moved that dynamite, so they ain't find nothing. But they knew what's the odds of them coming to raid us right after we had them, explosives in here. So she said, I know how to figure it out. I'm Bumpy Johnson's daughter. I know how to get the answers. They end up pulling a little setup, catching them 3 pigs in a 211 in a warehouse, got the drop on them. She said, we need to know who it is. We ain't telling you nothing. Big Dick Buster, hey. What you need to know? What you need to know? Where he live, address, time, what I mean, I tell you his favorite food. Big Dick Buster just look like he straight came out the gym, swole as could be, Debo-esque. And he looking at them white boys on their knees and he grabbing that Johnson talking about some. Yeah, I'm about to get me some pink meat tonight. You know what I mean? Get some of that pink rump roast. Like bologna. That's crazy right there, man. I don't know what the. Oh wow, you gotta wrap your hand around this dude. He enjoys tearing them cheeks up. He want that mangina right there. Ooh, 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 oh. And that's a big dude mountain. Oh my goodness gracious. I have to give it to y'all women, man. Ain't nowhere in the world I would want nobody on top of me like that, especially. I wouldn't. Oh my goodness. They say opposites attract. That's why I could never gotta give it to y'all ladies that like that. Cause I wouldn't want a woman to get on me like that. Anyway, Buster was, I don't know if he was Buster Brown, Buster them Browns, but they sure gave up who the snitch was right away. And let me tell you something, Obi was, boy, I think he might have killed old boy for real. You see how hard he was holding that pillow down? His damn arms was about to bust a membrane. I'm like, ooh, this look real. A dude kicking, he probably couldn't breathe for real under that pillow. Say, damn, man, you acting too hard. Hey, they straight suffocated Snitch. Snitch McGee. Straight up. Get to some of these comments. Brandon Tony, is your character returning to force? Well, not as I know it so far. We'll see. Damian Kenny, J Mouse has a theme song. Touch me, tease me, feel me, and caress me. And hold on. You got that case, Mace, well, total. Speaking of that, man, you talk about Big Dick Buster. Did y'all hear about the Punisher? Puffy had a dude named the Punisher come through. I thought that was close to my name. They called me Stanley, the Power Drill. No. He had a dude called the Punisher. You know what I'm starting to really think about this case? Is that this all is because Cassie was jealous of Young Miami, and that Puffy put Young Miami on, gave her a show. She didn't even have to rap. She had money and all the stuff Cassie did and ain't get nothing. And Young Miami talking about she like golden showers and stuff. Cassie probably like getting old now in her 40s. She like, and this dude about to get another 20 something and do this and just kick me to the curb, broke. And now I got no career, no albums, no nothing. Oh, hell no. I'm about to sue him. I'm about to release all of this. You didn't have me be in the urinal for the Punisher. You didn't have me over here getting tossed up by these dudes off of swingers from Showtime, gigolos. And you gave this bitch the money? Oh, hell no. I'm snitching. Well, dial that number. Dial that number. I don't like that one bit. I don't like this not one bit. I'm about to drop a dime on this. I'm about to drop a dime on this. She was doing this stuff for like 10 years with this dude, man. I don't think you do this stuff and hang around and stuff. Yeah, you might have got that foot in the ass that time in the hotel, but overall, you stuck in it. You could have left. You left and got married and things, but you wanted that deal and money and things, and gotta be careful, man. Sometimes you sell out and actually don't get the check. Anyway, Brandon Tony, you say, yeah, Stella should get some guards to watch her back. That's for sure. That's a fact. Brandon Tony, you say, but let's not forget everything that Diddy did to her. Like what? I know that video of him beating her up ain't good, but all this other stuff, I think she and partake. It is a lot of women that partake in that type of stuff. So, I don't know. Anyway, getting back to the topic, Damian Kenny, you say, I've been said Frank Lucas needs to be introduced to Buster. Hey, Frank barely got away with that one. Yeah, you did say that. Frank almost met Buster Brown for real. Straight up. Brandon Tony, you say, to be honest, if I would have seen Buster, I would have been snitching out as well. Heck yeah. Heck yeah. Especially back then, you ain't about to split my cheeks. You ain't about to have me leaking, soaking wet, and that's blood. You ain't about to bust me wide open to the white meat, to the light meat, and I'm good. First of all, if that happened to me, you talk about a traumatic experience. I don't know what man, that would be very, very hurtful, to say the least. Pocket full of dinero, that's pretty good. Cassie and Young Miami theory. Well, thank you. Thank you. I think it is. I think it's from what I'm starting to see and hear. I think that's what it really is. She probably like, you gonna help this young bit and all that liquids that I done had, all that Astro Glide and baby oil and pink cocaine, and this is what you do. Brandon Tony, but oh, I already read that. Dawn, yeah. I mean, they got a lot going on. It's a crazy thing. I have to bring that up tomorrow. Brandon Tony, he threw a skillet at Cassie while she was cooking their breakfast in the freak office as well. Well, let's just be honest. As men, you probably don't really appreciate your woman if you hiring people to urine on her and do all these other things. He'd probably throw and treat her like trash because she put, I'm not gonna say she put herself in that as if she the only one responsible, but if you allow people to treat you like things, then you can't be upset if they start to treat you like things, you know. I had somebody get jazzy with me. Just get jazzy. Talk to me a certain way. And I stopped it there and I said, don't talk to me like that. They didn't call me no more and they don't want to talk to me no more. And that's fine. But if you think that we going to talk and that you going to talk to me any old kind of way or say, okay, okay, or all right, or do whatever. And I'm just going to be like, hey, please be my friend. You got me messed up. I got standards. I got morals. I know who I am and I know what I'm going to accept and what I won't accept. And I didn't have to be all mean and say this, but I said, hold on, don't talk to me like that. Don't do that. I don't talk to you like that. Don't talk to me like that. If we friends, don't disrespect me like that. If it was my woman, I damn sure ain't going to talk to her a certain way. And I damn sure wouldn't tolerate my lady talking to me a certain way. This don't have to go on no more. You can go. Because the moment you think you about to devalue and talk to me like I'm some damn fool or less than is the moment you lost your mind. Straight up. Because the more you allow that stuff to slide, the less they're going to appreciate or value who you are and what you are about. And also, you should know it's only certain things I'm gonna tolerate, not tolerate. I go certain things, do whatever. If I'm here and I say stuff, I'm a man of my word. If I'm not gonna cheat, I'm not gonna cheat. If I'm not gonna do this, I'm not. You should know who you dealing with. Some people don't take the time to do that, and they say one thing and they cheaters, or they say they'll do stuff and they don't, and this and that. Well, how could you build a life with somebody that don't mean what they say? That accept anything from anybody and people can treat and talk them any old kind of way. That's one thing I really like about Bumpy is that everybody respects Bump. People know when Bump say something and when he do something, he mean it and it's got the good intentions. You know, Bump, no matter who it is, he well respected. He wear a suit. He treat everybody and talk to everybody with a certain level of respect, you know, and that means something to me. Anyway, I think when the end of this episode came and Frank for the $10,000 because Columbo got Frank to go and take out Bump, he gave him 10 stacks. So then we see Frank looking like Dr. Giggles up in this mug coming into the hospital to come get Bump. You know what else I like about Bump? His woman really, really loved that dude. She made sure he had on his nice robe and jammies. She ain't have him looking all ragged in the hospital. When Columbo came to meet him, he had his suit. She made sure he was sitting down looking good and strong. Man, she got her man back. They represent each other well. Anyway, Frank came in. He thought he was gonna poke Bump. He had the damn pig stick out, the knife. Bump had that 9 milli right there, or is a 45, looked like one or the other. Anyway, get on your knees. You better pray to your mama or your kids or whoever. And he said, Mama, I know I ain't doing what I'm supposed to. I'm sorry. I think Bump, and then with talking with Malcolm, and he say, the black man ain't our true enemy, and you got to understand how he being manipulated. Bump, man, he a good dude, man. He really tried to change himself. I won't say he a really good. He did. Everybody make mistakes, but he tried to change and do better. Now, I don't know his entire story like that, but who knows? But in this episode, it did show a good side of him, that he wasn't all about the money. He didn't let his boy Chance die. He wasn't all about sticking to the rules no matter what, like we see in other shows, and then they take out family members or people or do whatever, and you would think, man, they didn't have to do that. He didn't have to do that, although he probably would have whacked Frank Lucas if he didn't have that heart attack. Frank got lucky on that one right there. He literally dodged the bullet on that one. But overall, I enjoyed this episode. I think that was good that Bump and Frank kind of had that little made amends. I don't know how much Bumpy would be trusting him moving forward. And if I was Chance, I damn sure don't know how much I'd trust his ass moving forward. Although I think Chance did get to him a little bit when he told his story about how Bumpy looked out for him. And Frank Lucas, being so country, didn't understand the dynamics and how the game go. I guess I kind of feel, I look back at my life a little bit on things, and I know that growing up in the big city, Chicago, it's certain things that I learned, I guess, subconsciously or naturally or at an early age. I don't even probably remember when or understood certain things. But I guess coming from the country, he didn't understand when somebody testing you. Now, I'm not going to say I know every test in life, but I do know when somebody testing you, and I do know when somebody watching you. For example, I remember it was somebody I invited to my home for a party around the 4th of July. And if a person normally comes to a person home, they bring something, which is fine. This person brought a bottle of wine or something, fine. But then they saw I had all kind of fifths and half gallons and enough liquor to drown you. So what they do? They drank good. They was drinking real good. They had 3 or 4 big glasses of drinks and didn't have no problems. They didn't crack theirs, and when they left, they took their bottle back with them. I never seen somebody bring a bottle, drink good while they there, and what? Because we didn't crack your bottle, you took it back? But I didn't say nothing to them. I guess they think I didn't know. Let them tell it I didn't care. But these are things that shows your character. If you go and you ate good and you drank good, leave your bottle. You've gotten your bottle's worth. If that bottle was $5 or $10, you drank $5 or $10 worth. You just gonna come, eat it up, drink it up, and take it back. and didn't say nothing. Shouldn't have brought it in the first place then. I didn't say bring nothing. Anyway, it's just things like that that show your character. So then when them type of people say or do other things, you now have a full picture. And I think the full picture of Bumpy, man, that was a good dude. Loyalty, respect. Anyway, let me go ahead and give my MOSCORE rating for this episode, and then we call it a all right. As y'all know, the MOSCORE, my rating system, real simple. 4 categories, 25 points each. The visual cinematography, I got to give them a really good credit on a really good credit, but give them good credit as far as how they shoot this. It's a well shot show. I like how they were showing him and Malcolm and their conversation and different things, but also the way the set design, they use older cameras. This even though it's so clear, it's new, it really puts you back into that mind state of that time period, which I really enjoy when I watch this show. I'm going to give it, as far as visuals and cinematography for this episode, I'll give it a 21 out of 25. I think it was on par with what they normally do, but that's a really good job. The storyline and plot for this episode, although it was a short episode, I liked it. It was kind of deep. I thought, from what I took from it, it was about love, loyalty, friendship, respect. These are the things, their second chances. I think these themes really came across to me. I don't know about you, but let me know, of course, in the comments. But I really enjoyed this episode. And I also kind of felt bad that this type of TV is not as available as it used to be. It seems with so much other stuff out. I hope that really good shows like this continue for a long time. Anyway, this storyline and plot for this episode, I'm gonna give it a 23. And it's not overtly the greatest episode, but I did enjoy it in the themes. Special effects, makeup, costumes, top notch. The hospital, it looked like an old hospital. Good set design. Um, just everything. The way they carry this show, the set with the Black Panthers, Big Dick Buster, all the stuff they got going on. I like this show. The hospital, the way the nurses and doctors look, the uniforms, costumes, they put in a lot of work, effort into this show, and I want to say they did a good job. It paid off. I'm gonna give it a 23 out of 25. Entertaining fun factor. Was it the most entertaining episode? Honestly, no. I did enjoy the themes, but just because I enjoyed that theme, that didn't make it the most entertaining. I will say I would give it a 20, which is on par for the rest of the season, which brings my MOSCO to an 87. Um, I could see an 85 or an 80. I wouldn't put it to a 9 for this episode. It wasn't that good overall, as to say it was a 9. It was more of a B, on par with what it's been. On the MOSCO, I got an 87, but that's how it goes sometimes. Overall, I personally would probably give it a B, a 80. I always give a .5 margin anyway. So it would be what, 82 if you take off the 5, which is close to what I would say. But I did enjoy it. Don't get it twisted. I think it was good. And Damian Kenny, you give it an 80 as well. I agree. I could see where that came up to be in the 80. And I don't have any disagreement with that. It was a good, solid episode. And hey, I hate that we halfway over with the show. And the way it's looking, this may be the final season for Godfather of Harlem, which I would hope it wasn't, because damn, man, this is a really good show. Very well written, good acting, great set design, costumes. I mean, it's really no point in this show that's wrong, in my opinion. Top notch show. Yeah, maybe this season isn't as action packed as others, but I enjoy the dialogue, seeing the struggle, seeing the loyalty and love they got for one another. It's something I kind of wish I was living in that time period in a way. But also, I enjoy living in the time period I'm in now. Um, you know, I've always kind of had those thoughts though in my life of seeing different periods in time and wondering what it was like. I used to wonder what the Wild West was like. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to go and live in all these times because a lot of things is one way on TV or on a movie, but the reality of stuff, man, you're gonna be in the Wild West. It's no air condition. You riding on that hot ass horse. It bugs. People shoot you. I'm good. I don't want to actually go to Tombstone. Young Slim, my boy, what's good, brother? How you feeling, man? You caught me right in time, man. I was just about to call it a night. Yeah, man. Godfather Harlem, though, man. The Harlem Renaissance era, although they out of the Harlem Renaissance era, and Bumpy is damn near towards the end of his days. Still, Black Unity and those days of community, it did look good and seem appealing. It's just unfortunate our community always had something like drugs or something to, or someone or something to try to disrupt and tear it down, whether it's from the inside out or the outside in. And that's just a shame. But anyway, excellent episode. I enjoyed it. I'm gonna call it a night, y'all. Um, but tomorrow I will be back and we can break down more topics like Diddy. Boy, we talk about the Punisher. He also had somebody called the Urinal. Man, they life was crazy, man. He used to hire somebody to set up the rooms, and then when they're done, he would clean the rooms. Not the hotel staff, but the other dude would. And they even said that Diddy would come in a burqa, like a Muslim woman. Boy, this is something else, man. Dude is crazy. Anyway, the next episode, Godfather Harlem, looked pretty good. Although I don't know if they're doing it right, because it seems that they got the chinchilla that Frank Lucas was wearing in American Gangster. But from what I did know in real life and what we've seen in other stuff, I thought Frank Lucas was a little bit more further along in his career when he wore that to that Muhammad Ali fight. But he was still under the radar at that point. So we'll see what happens with that. Anyway, Young Slim, you said Bumpy almost at the scene in American Gangster. No, Bumpy is. Y'all, you mean he's almost on the scene? Yeah, because he dies in the beginning, and Frank was with him, and Bumpy has the heart attack in the electronics store. So, you know, it's messed up. Anyway, y'all have a good one, man. I'll be back tomorrow. And yeah, that was Clarence Williams. Oh, yeah, the shit. They had him playing Bumpy. Clarence Williams III, baby. All right, y'all. Tomorrow I'll be back and we break down some more of this crazy news that's been happening. And with that being said, y'all have a good night. Deuces. And I'll see you on the next one. Peace.